Hello, everyone. Life has a way of presenting us with moments that seem inexplicably delayed, times when our dreams feel just out of reach and our efforts seem to yield. Develop patience and find the growth hidden in every moment. Delays often feel frustrating and disheartening, especially when your heart has set itself on a dream that now seems just out of reach. Yet, what if the delay isn't a rejection but a carefully placed pause meant to redirect or shield you from unseen dangers? In this season of waiting, you may find that life is working in ways you can't yet understand, orchestrating events for your highest good. Delays are not necessarily denials, they can be messages that there is more happening than you could ever imagine. They whisper a call to look beyond what is visible, to believe in what is still becoming, and to recognize that there is a bigger plan unfolding. The first thing to realize is that delays are not random occurrences. They are intentional, strategic, and often divine. Life or the universe or whatever higher power you believe in has a way of orchestrating timing with incredible precision. If something isn't happening when you expect or desire it, it could mean that other crucial components of your dream are still being arranged. Imagine a tapestry being woven, each thread matters, and if even one part of the pattern is incomplete, the entire masterpiece is affected. Your delay might simply mean that your thread is being intricately woven into a larger picture that will make sense in due time. This pause can also serve as a protective barrier. Sometimes you aren't aware of what lies ahead, and what you believe you want may not be in your best interest at that moment. Think about a door you were desperate to walk through, but in hindsight realized was not meant for you. The same can apply to your present situation. There may be dangers or struggles waiting on the other side of what you're asking for, or perhaps the conditions surrounding your goal are not yet conducive for it to thrive. In this sense, delays serve as a shield, preventing you from stepping into situations that could bring unnecessary hardship. Furthermore, delays often highlight areas where growth is needed. You might be tempted to think you are ready for your dreams, but delays can reveal parts of yourself that require more preparation. Growth is not always visible, like roots extending deep into the earth before a plant breaks the soil. Your internal foundation may need to strengthen. Delays allow you to build resilience, patience, and a deeper understanding of your desires. This period of waiting can be used to refine your skills, gain new knowledge, or heal from past wounds that might have hindered your future success. What seems like a roadblock can actually be a disguised opportunity for self-improvement. In this light, delays become a test of faith. They ask you to remain steadfast, even when nothing seems to be moving forward. This kind of faith isn't about wishful thinking, it's about knowing that there's more at work than what meets the eye. During these times, your character is being refined, and you are being taught to trust the unseen. Waiting forces you to confront your fears and doubts, offering a chance to shift your perspective from one of scarcity to one of abundance. It's a chance to learn that true strength comes not from having everything go your way, but from trusting that everything is working out, even when it appears to be stalled. Delays can also provide an opportunity for realignment. Sometimes what you are pursuing might not be fully aligned with your true purpose or calling. You may be focused on goals that you think will bring you happiness, only to realize that they are not in line with your authentic self. The pause gives you space to reflect, to ask yourself whether what you are chasing is what you truly want, or if it is a substitute for something deeper. You are given the gift of time to reassess your path and realign your goals with your values and true desires. In addition, delays offer the chance to appreciate the present moment. We live in a world obsessed with immediate results and instant gratification. When things don't happen on our timeline, it can feel like a personal failure. But what if the delay is asking you to find joy and gratitude in the present? Perhaps it is encouraging you to notice the blessings that already surround you, to savor the here and now before being thrust into the next phase of your journey. It invites you to shift your mindset from a place of lack to a place of abundance, understanding that every moment of waiting is rich with potential. Delays can be a test of your emotional stamina, pushing you to deal with the frustration, doubt, and sometimes even fear that comes with the unknown. They challenge you to let go of the illusion of control and to surrender to a higher wisdom. You learn to focus not on what you lack, but on the possibilities that the future holds. Patience is a virtue that many admire but few truly understand. In today's fast-paced world, we are accustomed to instant results, quick fixes, and the promise of immediate gratification. Yet, patience invites us to take a different path, a slower, more deliberate approach that is both humbling and transformative. At its core, patience is not just the act of waiting, it's the art of waiting well. It's an active practice that requires resilience, trust, and the understanding that not everything will happen according to our timeline. Instead of passively standing by, patience calls us to engage in the present moment with a sense of hope and purpose. The power of patience lies in its ability to transform our perspective. When faced with delays or obstacles, our first instinct may be to feel frustrated or disappointed. But patience allows us to reframe the situation, shifting our focus from what we can't control to what we can learn. It teaches us to find value in the waiting period, to view it as a chance to grow and evolve rather than as wasted time. Patience pushes us to ask deeper questions, such as, what is this moment trying to teach me? How can I make the most of this experience? By focusing on the lessons embedded in the waiting, we gain a greater appreciation for the journey, rather than obsessing over the destination. Patience is also a profound test of faith. It's easy to believe in something when everything is going smoothly, but true faith is tested when nothing seems to be happening, when progress feels stagnant, and when you are left with nothing but hope. Patience stretches our ability to trust in the unseen, to have faith that things are working out, even if we can't immediately see the results. This kind of faith isn't passive, it is an active belief that what is meant for us will come at the right time. The practice of patience builds spiritual and emotional strength, cultivating a sense of inner peace even when the world around us feels chaotic or unpredictable. One of the most transformative aspects of patience is the way it shapes our character. Each moment we spend waiting is an opportunity to develop qualities like resilience, endurance, and emotional stability. Patience teaches us to weather life's storms without losing our sense of purpose or becoming consumed by frustration. It reminds us that setbacks and delays are temporary and that our response to these moments defines who we are. The process of cultivating patience forces us to confront our own limitations, fears, and anxieties, offering a chance to emerge stronger and more grounded. Moreover, patience fosters a deeper sense of self-awareness. When things don't happen as quickly as we want, we are given the space to reflect on our motivations and desires. Are we pursuing our goals for the right reasons, or are we driven by ego and the need for external validation? Patience invites us to connect with our true selves, encouraging introspection and a greater understanding of our own journey. It prompts us to ask if our aspirations are aligned with our authentic purpose, or if we are simply chasing fleeting dreams. In this way, patience serves as a guiding force, helping us to align with our truest intentions and desires. Another significant aspect of patience is its impact on our relationships. When we learn to be patient, we become more empathetic and understanding of others. We realize that everyone is on their own journey, and that growth and change take time. Instead of imposing our expectations or timelines onto the people around us, patience allows us to offer support and compassion. It enables us to listen deeply, to give space for others to grow and evolve, and to appreciate the process they are going through. This type of understanding fosters stronger, more meaningful connections, built on a foundation of mutual respect and grace. Patience also gives us the ability to navigate challenges with a sense of calm and clarity. In moments of stress or uncertainty, an impatient mind can make impulsive decisions that lead to unnecessary complications. But a patient mindset encourages us to think things through, to assess the situation with wisdom and care. It provides the clarity needed to respond, rather than react, to make choices that align with our long-term well-being instead of seeking temporary relief. Patience helps us cultivate a mindset of abundance, where we believe that good things are worth waiting for, and that rushing into something can often lead to unintended consequences. Patience can be a tool for mastering our emotional responses. When we encounter setbacks, it's natural to feel a surge of anger, disappointment, or anxiety. But practicing patience allows us to pause and process these emotions rather than letting them take control. It gives us the grace to sit with discomfort, to understand the root of our feelings, and to move forward with a sense of purpose. This emotional intelligence is invaluable, helping us to remain composed even in the face of life's greatest trials. In essence, patience is not just about enduring time, but about using time wisely. It teaches us to make the most of every moment, to find peace in the waiting, and to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. It turns periods of delay into opportunities for personal growth and encourages us to live in harmony with the rhythm of life. Delays often feel like roadblocks that stand in the way of our dreams, leaving us feeling restless, confused, or even defeated. However, what if these pauses were not random obstacles, but instead part of a grander design to prepare us for the future we truly desire? Delays can serve as valuable periods of preparation, equipping us with the skills, experiences, and resilience needed to handle the next chapter of our lives. They may feel inconvenient or even painful, but beneath the surface, these delays can be some of the most meaningful chapters in our growth story. Preparation takes time, and often what you think you're ready for might actually require more refining. A delay might be the universe's way of saying, "Hold on, there's more work to be done before you can handle what's coming." Consider how a seed grows into a tree. There are long, unseen periods when it roots itself deep into the ground, drawing nutrients and establishing a firm foundation before ever breaking through the soil. The delay in visible growth is critical for the tree's survival and future strength. Similarly, the waiting period in our own lives is an opportunity to root ourselves deeply in wisdom, character, and self-awareness, so that when our time does come, we are stable and unshakable. One of the key areas that delays prepare us for is emotional resilience. When we face setbacks or prolonged waiting periods, we learn to cope with disappointment and manage our expectations. We grow in patience, a virtue that serves as a cornerstone for navigating life's inevitable ups and downs. This emotional training helps us become more adaptable and less reactive. We develop a capacity to handle the challenges that come with achieving our goals, challenges that might have overwhelmed us had we faced them prematurely. In essence, delays act as a boot camp for our emotions, strengthening our ability to stay calm, grounded, and focused no matter the circumstance. Delays also offer a chance to gain clarity about our goals and desires. Sometimes we are so eager to achieve something that we don't stop to question whether it's truly aligned with our higher purpose. A waiting period can be a time to reassess and refine our intentions. Are we pursuing this path because it genuinely fulfills us, or are we chasing it out of fear, social pressure, or ego? The stillness of waiting provides a moment of introspection, encouraging us to align our goals with our deepest values and aspirations. It's in these quiet moments that we can get in touch with our intuition and make adjustments to our plans if necessary. In addition to refining our desires, delays can prepare us by allowing us to acquire new skills or knowledge that will be critical for our future success. Sometimes we may not realize what tools we are missing until we are forced to wait. During these periods, life may present opportunities to learn, whether through formal education, mentorship, or hands-on experiences. This accumulation of wisdom and expertise can become our secret weapon, making us more confident and confident when the time finally comes to step into our dreams. The skills you gain during a delay are like puzzle pieces that will fit perfectly when the bigger picture starts coming together. Relationships and connections are another area where delays often serve a greater purpose. The waiting period may give you time to meet people who will be instrumental in your journey. Perhaps there are mentors, partners, or friends you haven't yet encountered who will support you in ways you cannot foresee. A delay might mean that the right people or circumstances need time to align before your dream can manifest fully. Relationships built during these times can become pillars of support, offering insight and opportunities you would have missed had you rushed ahead. Delays can also serve as a spiritual awakening, urging us to develop a deeper sense of faith and trust. In the quiet space of waiting, we are often stripped of the illusion of control, forced to rely on something greater than ourselves. We are challenged to believe that even when we cannot see progress, There is a divine order at work. This kind of faith doesn't come easily. It's forged in moments of uncertainty and honed by repeated experiences of life surprising us with something better than we could have planned. The delay, in this sense, is a spiritual discipline that prepares our hearts and minds to trust the process of life, knowing that timing is everything. Delays can prepare us by helping us build a sense of gratitude and appreciation. When things come easily, it's human nature to take them for granted. However, when you have waited, worked, and hoped for something, you're far more likely to cherish it when it finally arrives. The experience of longing can deepen your sense of appreciation for the blessings you receive, making them feel even more precious and meaningful. This gratitude can be transformative, coloring the way you experience future successes, and even shaping your ability to find joy and fulfillment in life's simplest moments. Delays offer the chance to refine our habits and daily routines. We often overlook the importance of small, consistent actions in the pursuit of our dreams. During periods of waiting, we can assess whether our current habits are conducive to the life we are trying to create. Are we disciplined, focused, and intentional? Or are we scattered, distracted, and unprepared? The extra time allows us to build the habits and routines that will sustain us in the long run. This preparation phase ensures that when the doors finally open, we walk through them equipped, organized, and ready to handle the responsibilities that come with success. Waiting is often seen as a nuisance, an uninvited pause in the journey toward our dreams and goals. Yet beneath the surface, there are profound lessons hidden in the waiting periods of life, moments that act as some of the most effective teachers. These pauses are not empty or meaningless. They are rich with opportunities for growth, understanding, and self-discovery. The challenge lies in learning to see them not as wasted time, but as periods brimming with potential lessons that can shape us into wiser, stronger, and more self-aware individuals. One of the most significant lessons hidden in the waiting is the art of surrender. So much of our stress and frustration comes from wanting to control every aspect of our lives, from setting rigid timelines to trying to dictate how and when things should happen. But waiting teaches us that not everything can be controlled, and sometimes the best thing we can do is release our grip and trust the process. This doesn't mean giving up on our dreams, rather. It means finding peace in the uncertainty and understanding that some things are simply out of our hands. By learning to let go and surrender, we invite a sense of calm and acceptance into our lives, which can be incredibly liberating. Waiting also teaches us the value of patience and persistence. In a world where everything seems to move at lightning speed, the concept of being patient can feel outdated. But there is wisdom in knowing that some things take time to develop. The waiting period forces us to slow down and realize that true growth is rarely instant. It reminds us that the things worth having, the dreams worth chasing, often require a process of gradual and deliberate unfolding. This lesson in patience isn't just about waiting for external events to align, it's also about giving ourselves the grace to grow at our own pace. The waiting tests our resolve and asks us to remain committed to our vision, even when there are no immediate signs of progress. Another hidden lesson in the waiting is the importance of reflection. When we are in a hurry, we often overlook the need to pause and evaluate our choices, our direction, and even our desires. Waiting gives us the opportunity to turn inward and reflect on whether we are on the right path. It prompts us to ask meaningful questions. Are we pursuing something because it's aligned with our purpose, or are we following a path that doesn't truly fulfill us? This time of introspection can bring clarity to our goals and help us make more intentional decisions. It can reveal whether we need to adjust our course or even reconsider what success means to us. The waiting period also reveals the depth of our character. It's easy to be hopeful and motivated when everything is going well, but how do we react when things are at a standstill? Do we grow bitter and give up, or do we remain hopeful and keep moving forward? Waiting has a way of bringing our inner strengths and weaknesses to the surface. It exposes areas where we may lack patience or where our faith might waver, but it also shows us how resilient we can be. These moments act as mirrors, reflecting our true selves and giving us the chance to grow stronger, more balanced, and more self-aware. By embracing these lessons, we are better prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. Additionally, the waiting period often teaches us the importance of appreciating the present moment. So often we get caught up in the idea that our happiness lies in the future, in the achievement of a specific goal, or the resolution of a particular problem. But the waiting teaches us that life is happening right now, in the present. It invites us to find joy, contentment, and meaning in the here and now, rather than pinning all our hopes on the future. This lesson in presence can be transformative, reminding us that each moment, even the one spent waiting, has its own unique value and beauty. One of the more subtle lessons hidden in waiting is learning to cultivate gratitude for what we have. When we're fixated on what's next, it's easy to overlook the blessings that are already present in our lives. Waiting nudges us to count those blessings, to focus on what's working well, and to appreciate the journey itself. It teaches us that even though we may not have everything we desire right now, there is still much to be thankful for. This shift in perspective from lack to abundance can change how we experience the world, filling our hearts with a deeper sense of appreciation and contentment. The waiting period can also teach us how to be more adaptable. Life doesn't always unfold according to our plans, and waiting can serve as a crash course in learning to be flexible and open to change. It encourages us to explore alternative paths, to think outside the box, and to consider possibilities we may have previously overlooked. By becoming more adaptable, we develop a resilience that allows us to handle future uncertainties with grace and confidence. The lessons in adaptability we learn during waiting periods can prepare us to face the complexities of life with a sense of curiosity and openness rather than resistance. Waiting provides an opportunity for connection with ourselves, with others, and with the greater world around us. In the rush to achieve, we often become so focused on our personal goals that we forget the importance of relationships and community. The waiting period invites us to reconnect with loved ones, to offer support and receive it, and to remember that we are all on our own unique timelines. It also encourages self-connection, giving us the space to nurture our well-being and strengthen our relationship with our inner selves. These connections make the journey richer and more meaningful, reminding us that life is about more than just reaching the finish line. Surrendering to divine timing is one of the most profound acts of faith we can engage in. It's about releasing our tight grip on how and when we believe our dreams should unfold, and trusting that there is a higher wisdom at work in our lives. This concept might feel difficult to grasp, especially in a world that celebrates control, speed, and predictability. Yet when we truly understand the power of surrendering to divine timing, we unlock a sense of inner peace and a deeper connection with the rhythm of life. One of the essential elements of surrendering to divine timing is understanding that our perspective is limited. We see only a small piece of the puzzle, often focusing solely on our own desires and goals. However, there is a much bigger picture that we are part of, a web of interconnected events, people, and experiences that we may not yet comprehend. Divine timing operates in alignment with this grand design, ensuring that everything unfolds at the right moment, not only for us but for everyone involved. This broader perspective invites us to trust that there is a perfect sequence to the events in our lives, even if we don't immediately understand how or why. Surrendering to divine timing also requires us to let go of the illusion of control. As humans, we have a natural tendency to want to map out our entire lives, creating detailed plans and setting strict deadlines for when things should happen. While it's important to have goals and aspirations, there's a significant difference between being intentional and being controlling. Divine timing reminds us that some things are simply beyond our control, and that our attempts to force outcomes may only lead to frustration and disappointment. By releasing this need to control every aspect of our lives, we free ourselves from the anxiety that comes with uncertainty, replacing it with a sense of calm and acceptance. Another crucial aspect of surrendering to divine timing is learning to be present in the now. Often, when we're waiting for something to happen, we become so fixated on the future that we miss the beauty and lessons of the present moment. We tell ourselves that we'll only be happy or fulfilled once we achieve a certain goal or reach a particular milestone. But divine timing teaches us that every moment has a purpose, and there are gifts to be found even in the waiting. By practicing mindfulness and fully engaging with the present, we open ourselves up to experiences and insights that we would have missed had we been solely focused on the future. Surrendering to divine timing doesn't mean giving up on our dreams or becoming passive. Instead, it involves striking a delicate balance between effort and surrender. We are encouraged to take inspired action, to do our best in every situation, and to move toward our goals with intention. However, once we've done all we can, we must learn to let go and trust that the universe will take care of the rest. This balance between action and surrender is an art form, one that requires us to listen to our intuition and understand when it's time to push forward and when it's time to step back and wait. A key lesson in surrendering to divine timing is learning to trust that delays or changes in our plans are not punishments but a part of a larger, more meaningful process. Sometimes the things we want most are delayed because we are not yet ready to receive them. There may be lessons we need to learn or growth we need to experience before we can fully appreciate or handle what we are asking for. These delays can act as periods of preparation, shaping us into the person we need to become to sustain and enjoy the blessings that are coming our way. This preparation phase is often disguised as a delay, but in reality, it is a gift, a chance to become more aligned with our purpose and our highest potential. Surrendering also invites us to cultivate a deeper relationship with trust and faith. It's one thing to say we trust in divine timing, but it's another thing entirely to live that trust every day, especially when our plans seem to be falling apart or moving slower than expected. True faith is built in the moments when we don't understand what is happening, when we feel lost or discouraged. It's in those moments that we are called to lean into our belief that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if it doesn't match our timeline. This kind of faith can be incredibly empowering, reminding us that there is a force far greater than us guiding our steps. Moreover, surrendering to divine timing can teach us the power of humility. It's a humbling experience to recognize that we don't have all the answers, that we can't control the future, and that there is a higher intelligence at work. This realization doesn't diminish our power or worth. Instead, it connects us to something greater, something vast and wise. It reminds us that our journey is not just about personal achievement, but also about being in harmony with the flow of life. This humility makes us more open to guidance, more receptive to opportunities, and more willing to embrace the journey, however unpredictable it may be. Surrendering to divine timing can also deepen our capacity for gratitude. When we finally receive what we've been waiting for, having trusted the process and endured the wait, the sense of gratitude we feel is profound. We become more appreciative, not only of the blessing itself, but also of the journey that led us there. Every challenge, every moment of doubt, and every act of surrender makes the destination all the more meaningful. We learn to see our life not as a series of missed opportunities, but as a beautifully orchestrated story where every chapter, even the ones filled with waiting, has its place and purpose. This act of surrender transforms how we perceive both setbacks and blessings. It allows us to live with a sense of wonder, knowing that there is magic in the unknown, and that surprises await us when we least expect them. Focusing on your inner work is a transformative endeavor that can completely change how you experience life. It's an invitation to shift your energy from the outside world and redirect it inward, into the depths of your mind, heart, and soul. In a world filled with distractions, endless obligations, and societal pressures, we often get lost in chasing external achievements and validation. But true and lasting fulfillment comes from within, from cultivating a rich inner landscape that becomes the foundation for everything you manifest in your outer world. Inner work is about self-exploration, healing, and aligning with your higher self so that you can live from a place of authenticity, purpose, and peace. One of the most critical aspects of inner work is self-awareness. It involves getting to know yourself on a profound level, understanding your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and patterns of behavior. Many people go through life on autopilot, unaware of the subconscious programming that shapes their reality. But when you turn inward and start examining your inner world, you begin to uncover the roots of your fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs. Self-awareness is the first step toward transformation, because you cannot change what you do not understand. By bringing these hidden aspects of yourself into the light, you empower yourself to make conscious choices that align with your true desires, rather than reacting unconsciously to old patterns. Inner work also encompasses emotional healing. We all carry wounds from our past, whether from childhood experiences, broken relationships, or disappointments that left a mark on our hearts. These emotional wounds, if left unhealed, can continue to influence our decisions, relationships, and overall well-being. Focusing on your inner work means taking the time to acknowledge and process these feelings instead of suppressing them. It's about giving yourself permission to feel and release emotions like anger, sadness, or grief, rather than letting them fester inside. Emotional healing is a brave and compassionate act of self-love, and it liberates you from the weight of the past, allowing you to step into the present with a lighter, more open heart. Another essential element of inner work is cultivating a strong sense of self-worth. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that our value comes from what we achieve or how others perceive us. This external validation can create a cycle of constantly seeking approval and feeling like we're never enough. But inner work challenges you to build your sense of worth from within, based on who you are rather than what you do. It's about embracing your inherent value as a unique and divine being, irrespective of your accomplishments or failures. Developing self-worth allows you to set healthy boundaries, pursue your dreams fearlessly, and experience unconditional love for yourself. Inner work also involves connecting with your intuition. Your intuition is a powerful inner guidance system that can lead you toward the life you're meant to live. However, in the noise and busyness of daily life, it's easy to lose touch with this inner voice. By focusing on your inner work, you create space for stillness and silence where your intuition can speak clearly. This might involve practices like meditation, journaling, or spending time in nature. When you tune into your intuition, you become more attuned to what feels right for you and what doesn't, making decisions from a place of inner knowing rather than external pressure. Following your intuition leads to a more aligned and fulfilling life. Focusing on your inner work also means understanding and rewiring your mindset. The beliefs and thoughts you hold create your reality, so examining your mental landscape is crucial. Do you have a scarcity mindset or an abundance mindset? Are your thoughts primarily supportive or self-critical? Inner work involves identifying limiting beliefs that no longer serve you and replacing them with empowering ones. It's about training your mind to be your ally, to see opportunities instead of obstacles, and to affirm your potential rather than doubt it. This shift in mindset can open up new possibilities and help you manifest the life you truly desire. A significant part of inner work is aligning with your purpose. Many people feel a sense of emptiness or restlessness because they are not living in alignment with their true calling. When you focus on your inner work, you get clearer about what drives and fulfills you on a soul level. It might take time and exploration to discover your purpose, but once you do, your life gains a deeper sense of meaning. Living from your purpose doesn't necessarily mean making drastic changes. It could be about infusing more intention and passion into whatever you do. Inner work helps you uncover what makes you come alive and guides you to create a life that reflects your deepest values and aspirations. Inner work also requires cultivating a practice of self-compassion. Being human means being imperfect, and there will be moments when you fall short, make mistakes, or feel lost. Focusing on your inner work means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. It's about recognizing that you are a work in progress and that your worth is not diminished by your imperfections. Self-compassion helps you to move forward with grace, to learn from your experiences without self-criticism, and to embrace every part of your journey as essential to your growth. This gentle and loving approach to yourself creates an inner environment where you can flourish and thrive. Another dimension of inner work is spiritual connection. Regardless of your religious or spiritual beliefs, connecting with a higher power or the universe can provide a sense of purpose and direction. Inner work often involves nurturing this spiritual connection through prayer, meditation, or simply spending time in stillness. It reminds you that you are not alone and that there is a divine presence guiding you. This connection can bring comfort during challenging times and inspire you to live with more love, compassion, and intention. It's about realizing that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, and this understanding can transform how you approach your life. Inner work teaches you the art of gratitude and presence. When you focus on your inner world, You become more attuned to the simple joys and blessings that surround you every day. Gratitude shifts your perspective from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life, creating a sense of contentment and fulfillment. Presence, on the other hand, grounds you in the here and now, allowing you to savor each moment fully instead of worrying about the past or the future. These practices enrich your inner life, making you more resilient, joyful, and at peace. Embracing the bigger picture is a practice that invites you to see your life from a higher perspective, to recognize that every event, whether joyful or painful, plays a role in your soul's evolution. It's a way of understanding that there is a grand tapestry unfolding, and while you may not always be able to comprehend how each thread fits, they are all part of a divine design. This outlook requires a willingness to look beyond the present moment, to release the need for immediate clarity, and to trust that there is a purpose in everything you experience. One of the key aspects of embracing the bigger picture is acknowledging that life is not always linear. We often expect our journeys to progress in a straight line, moving consistently from one success to another. But in reality, life is filled with detours, setbacks, and unexpected turns. These twists and turns can be disorienting, especially when they disrupt our carefully laid plans. However, when you shift your focus to the bigger picture, you begin to see these detours not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and redirection. You understand that sometimes what appears to be a setback is actually a setup for something greater, a necessary pause or redirection that leads you to where you are meant to be. Another component of this mindset is developing a sense of patience and trust in the unfolding of your life's path. When you are deeply immersed in a challenging situation, it can be difficult to see any sense or reason behind it. You may feel lost, confused, or frustrated, questioning why certain things are happening to you. Embracing the bigger picture doesn't mean you immediately understand these difficulties, but it encourages you to trust that they are contributing to a larger narrative that is still being written. It's about having faith that, even in moments of chaos or uncertainty, there is an underlying order that will reveal itself in time. Embracing the bigger picture also means accepting that not everything is about you. While this might seem like a humbling or even unsettling thought, it can actually be incredibly liberating. Sometimes the events in your life are part of a much larger, interconnected web that extends far beyond your individual experience. The people you meet, the experiences you have, and the lessons you learn may not be solely for your benefit. They might also serve others in ways you cannot yet understand. This perspective can shift you from a place of self-centered worry to one of compassionate awareness, where you realize that your actions and experiences are part of a greater collective impact. A crucial part of embracing the bigger picture is learning to let go of the need for constant explanations and immediate resolutions. Humans are naturally wired to seek answers, to make sense of things as quickly as possible. But not everything in life comes with a clear explanation or a straightforward lesson. Some experiences are meant to be lived and felt, without being fully understood right away. This can be uncomfortable, but it is also an invitation to surrender and trust that clarity will come when the time is right. The bigger picture may remain a mystery for now, but with time and reflection, the purpose behind certain experiences often becomes clearer. Seeing the bigger picture also helps you put your struggles into perspective. When you are in the middle of a difficult experience, it can feel all-consuming, as if nothing else matters or will ever get better. However, by stepping back and taking a broader view, you realize that this moment is just one chapter in a much longer story. Your current pain or confusion, while real and valid, is not the entirety of your life. This realization can bring a sense of relief and hope, reminding you that no situation is permanent and that better days are on the horizon. It can give you the strength to keep going, knowing that this too shall pass. Embracing the bigger picture also allows you to appreciate the interconnectedness of your experiences. What you learn from one challenge often becomes the wisdom you need to face another. The skills you develop in one season of life can serve you in ways you never anticipated in the future. For example, enduring heartbreak might teach you resilience and self-love, which later helps you build a healthier relationship. Losing a job might push you to pursue a passion you had long forgotten, opening doors to new opportunities. When you view life this way, you start to see a beautiful pattern in how events unfold, each experience building on the last, shaping you into who you are meant to become. This broader perspective also invites you to cultivate gratitude, even for the moments that don't make sense. While it's easy to be grateful for the good times, it takes spiritual maturity to be thankful for the trials and uncertainties. Yet when you consider the bigger picture, you start to recognize the hidden blessings within your struggles. You see how certain challenges brought people into your life who supported you, or how moments of loss cleared space for new growth. Gratitude becomes a practice of acknowledging that every experience, even the painful ones, serves a higher purpose in your life. Embracing the bigger picture is also about learning to hold space for both joy and sorrow. Life is full of dualities, and each experience adds depth to your journey. The times of happiness make the struggles more bearable, and the struggles make the happiness more meaningful. When you see the bigger picture, you learn to honor both sides of the spectrum, understanding that each emotion has its place and value. This balance allows you to live life more fully, appreciating the highs without becoming too attached and enduring the lows with grace. Embracing the bigger picture fosters a sense of hope and anticipation for the future. Even when the present feels heavy or uncertain, this mindset gives you something to hold on to, the belief that something beautiful is being woven into your story, even if you cannot see it yet. It's about living with a sense of expectation, knowing that the universe has surprises and blessings waiting for you just around the corner. This hope can be a guiding light, carrying you through the darkest times and reminding you that the best is yet to come. In the grand scheme of life, delays and challenges are often opportunities in disguise, guiding us toward growth, healing, and alignment with our highest potential. Each moment, whether filled with joy or uncertainty, serves a purpose and contributes to the beautiful unfolding of our journey. By understanding that delays are not denials, embracing the power of patience, and realizing that every waiting period prepares us for something greater, we unlock the wisdom hidden in these experiences. Surrendering to divine timing, focusing on our inner work, and embracing the bigger picture allow us to live with a deep sense of trust and grace. Remember, what you are experiencing now is part of a larger divine narrative, one that is intricately designed for your ultimate good. Trust that everything is unfolding as it should, and in the end, the tapestry of your life will reveal a masterpiece far beyond your imagination. Hate. It's a word that sparks fear in the hearts of many. We spend our lives running from it, hiding from the sharp edges of other people's judgment, and sacrificing our own power to be liked by everyone. But have you ever considered this? What if their hate is your greatest asset? Hate is a powerful emotion, and when directed at you, it can be a puzzling and painful experience. Yet beneath the surface of someone's hatred often lies a revealing truth they fear. People rarely express hatred in a vacuum. It usually stems from an underlying insecurity, vulnerability, or sense of inadequacy. When someone harbors negative feelings toward you, it is essential to understand that their reaction is not necessarily a reflection of your worth or actions. Instead, it highlights the unresolved fears they are carrying. Consider the nature of fear. Fear arises from a perceived threat, whether it is a danger to one's self-image, status, beliefs, or sense of control. When people sense that someone else is capable, determined, or different in a way that challenges their comfort zone, it evokes a strong emotional response. Often they may not understand the full extent of why they feel threatened, but that internal unease translates into outward expressions of hate or disdain. In many cases, it's not that you have done something wrong, rather, it's that you represent a change, a challenge, or a level of success they wish they could achieve. This dynamic becomes even more apparent when you pursue your passions, excel at something, or stand firm in your beliefs. Your mere existence becomes a mirror that reflects the things they wish they had or wish they could be. For example, if you are fiercely ambitious, that ambition may unsettle those who feel stuck or unfulfilled in their own lives. They might label you as arrogant or too intense, not because you are doing anything wrong, but because your drive reminds them of their own stagnation. The very traits that make you shine are the ones that highlight their perceived inadequacies. Similarly, Those who struggle with self-worth are often uncomfortable around individuals who exude confidence. If you present yourself boldly, unapologetically embracing who you are, it disrupts their narrative that playing small is the only way to avoid being judged. Your boldness exposes their fear of standing out and being vulnerable to criticism. Rather than facing this fear and learning from your example, they may resort to hating or belittling you. They would rather diminish your confidence than acknowledge the discomfort it brings to their sense of security. People fear change, and you might represent a change they are not ready to confront. When you challenge conventional norms or break out of the mold society has tried to fit you into, those who prefer the safety of conformity often feel threatened. They cling to the familiar, fearing that your courage to be different will force them to reevaluate their own choices. This fear of change manifests as hatred because it is easier for them to project negativity outward than to deal with their internal conflict. Even your achievements can incite fear. When you achieve something significant, it can make others acutely aware of what they perceive as their own failures or shortcomings. For instance, if you build a successful business, write a best-selling book, or reach a personal milestone, the impact of your success can ripple through the lives of those around you. People who have been silently comparing themselves to you may begin to feel inadequate, and that inadequacy quickly transforms into bitterness. Instead of feeling inspired by your success, they might harbor feelings of jealousy, convincing themselves that your achievements are somehow undeserved. Furthermore, your resilience and persistence can also become a source of fear for others. When they see you facing obstacles with grace or overcoming challenges that would have crushed them, it reminds them of the strength they wish they had. They may resent you for your courage, for your ability to rise after a fall. Your unwavering determination highlights their own fear of failure, and instead of using your example to motivate themselves, they might choose to hate you as a way to deflect that discomfort. Your refusal to settle or compromise your values can threaten those who live by a different standard. If you remain steadfast in your beliefs or pursue a path that aligns with your true self, people who have made compromises in their own lives might feel uneasy. It's not that your actions directly impact them, but your integrity serves as a reminder of the choices they wish they had the courage to make. This sense of missed opportunity, coupled with fear of judgment, can manifest as hostility toward you. Hate is, at its core, a defense mechanism. It serves as a shield, protecting people from the vulnerability of confronting their deepest fears. By focusing on you as the object of their disdain, they can avoid dealing with the internal work they need to do. Instead of reflecting on why your confidence, success, or authenticity bothers them, they choose to lash out, hoping that by tearing you down, they can momentarily alleviate their discomfort. When you face hate, it's easy to feel discouraged or question your path. But if you look deeper, hate can be a signal that you are living authentically and unapologetically. It can be a strong indicator that you stand for something meaningful. In a world where many people conform to the expectations and norms of society to avoid conflict, standing for something often disrupts the status quo. The very act of having principles or a vision that you refuse to compromise sets you apart. It shakes the foundations of complacency and mediocrity that so many cling to for comfort. Taking a stance is inherently provocative. It sends a message that you are willing to risk being misunderstood or disliked for the sake of your values or beliefs. When you choose to stand firm, those who disagree with you may feel challenged, and this discomfort can quickly turn into hate. However, this is a powerful affirmation of your conviction. If your words, actions, or mere existence are enough to inspire such a reaction, it means you have moved beyond the realm of neutrality and entered the arena of impact. The reality is that indifference never provokes strong reactions, only passion, purpose, and authenticity do. Living life in a way that doesn't rock the boat, that pleases everyone around you, is a safe choice. But it also keeps you from making a significant mark on the world. The people who leave lasting legacies, who create movements, and who inspire change are those who refuse to compromise their values just to be liked. They are the ones who face resistance head-on because their vision and beliefs are too important to be watered down. When you take a stand, you are declaring to the world that your purpose is worth more than the fleeting comfort of universal approval. This declaration, while empowering, can also attract negativity from those who feel their own beliefs or lifestyle choices are being challenged. Some people might hate you because you represent a shift they are not prepared to make. When you advocate for change or promote an idea that contradicts a widely accepted norm, it can be deeply unsettling for those who are invested in the way things are. They may hate you not because your stance is inherently wrong, but because it demands a reevaluation of their own beliefs or privileges. It is easier for them to criticize and reject you than to face the vulnerability of questioning their deeply held views. In this way, hate serves as a testament to the strength of your conviction. It proves that what you stand for is powerful enough to disrupt even the most rigid mental frameworks. Your stance does not even have to be something grand or revolutionary. Sometimes, simply being yourself is enough to provoke negative reactions. People may hate you for choosing to live authentically, especially if your authenticity challenges societal norms or expectations. If you embrace an unconventional career path, defy cultural expectations, or express yourself in a way that others find unsettling, you may find yourself facing resistance. Yet this resistance is a powerful indicator that you are living according to your truth. It shows that you have chosen a path that resonates so deeply with who you are that it cannot be compromised. Hate often comes from those who feel threatened. When people feel that your existence or beliefs cast a shadow over their own choices, they react with hostility. If you are outspoken about your values, such as fighting for social justice, advocating for equality, or promoting innovation in a stagnant industry, the pushback you receive can be intense. People who benefit from the current state of affairs or who fear change will often channel their fear into hatred. They hope to silence you, to make you second-guess your purpose, and to force you back into a state of conformity. Yet their hate only underscores the significance of what you are fighting for. Sometimes it is not even the content of your beliefs that people hate, but the mere fact that you have the courage to hold them. Your willingness to be bold, to express your truth in a world that often rewards quiet compliance, is a direct challenge to those who have chosen comfort over courage. People who have compromised their dreams or beliefs to fit into society's mold may project their own regrets onto you. Your audacity reminds them of what they gave up, of the dreams they buried, and of the paths they were too afraid to take. Rather than face this inner conflict, they find it easier to direct their frustration outward. When you stand for something, you cannot be easily swayed, manipulated, or broken. This strength is intimidating to those who derive their power from the conformity of others. Your refusal to yield, to abandon your principles for the sake of being liked, exposes the fragility of those who depend on others to validate their worth. Their hate, in this context, becomes a form of resistance to the power of your convictions. It is not a reflection of any weakness in you, but rather a testament to the strength and unwavering nature of your purpose. The world is filled with people who will do anything to maintain a sense of normalcy and comfort, even at the expense of truth and progress. When you step out of that mold, when you declare that you are willing to face opposition to honor your beliefs, you will inevitably be met with hate. However, that hate is proof that you are not just existing, you are standing for something worth defending. Hate, as unsettling and draining as it can be, has a unique ability to sharpen your focus and refine your sense of purpose. When faced with criticism, negativity, or outright hostility, you may initially feel overwhelmed, but the experience can also serve as a catalyst for greater clarity. It forces you to reassess your priorities, streamline your actions, and commit even more deeply to your goals. Hate strips away the non-essentials, pushing you to focus on what truly matters and leaving no room for distraction. When people express dislike or disdain toward you, it becomes a wake-up call that helps you realign with your mission. It's easy to drift through life without a clear sense of direction when everything is comfortable and unchallenged. However, when you are confronted with hate, it often acts as a mirror, reflecting the areas of your life or goals that require more dedication. You become more acutely aware of the time and energy you have, recognizing the need to invest these resources wisely. Instead of scattering your focus across various pursuits or being overly concerned with people-pleasing, hate compels you to zero in on what truly drives you. Hate acts like a pressure cooker, intensifying your determination and clarifying your objectives. When someone undermines or criticizes you, it can be tempting to retaliate or get caught up in proving them wrong. However, those who use hate as fuel to refine their focus do the opposite. They channel that intensity back into their work, using it as motivation to become even better at what they do. Instead of engaging in fruitless battles or trying to win everyone over, they concentrate on improving their craft, pushing their boundaries, and staying committed to their vision. The noise of the world becomes background static as they narrow in on their goals. Hate also tests your ability to prioritize what is worth your attention in a world full of distractions, from social media to constant opinions from others. Staying focused can be a real challenge. When faced with negativity, however, you are confronted with a choice. Do you expend your energy on defending yourself, or do you invest it in your growth and success? Hate has a way of crystallizing your decision-making process. It brings you face to face with the reality that not all battles are worth fighting, and not all critics deserve your response. This understanding sharpens your discernment and empowers you to choose your actions wisely. Moreover, hate forces you to establish emotional boundaries that reinforce your focus. When you learn to let go of the need to be universally liked, you liberate yourself from constantly worrying about others' opinions. This emotional detachment doesn't make you indifferent, rather. It allows you to channel your energy into areas where you can create meaningful impact. You learn to differentiate between constructive criticism, which can be valuable, and baseless hate, which only serves to derail your efforts. By filtering out the negativity that doesn't serve you, you give yourself the mental space to think clearly and act decisively. The intense emotions that hate evokes can be harnessed to drive you forward. When someone doubts your abilities or questions your intentions, it can ignite a fire within you, a desire to prove not to them, but to yourself that you are capable of achieving greatness. The initial sting of hurt or frustration becomes a driving force, propelling you to stay committed to your vision, even when the odds are stacked against you. Your focus becomes a shield, protecting you from the emotional toll of negativity and allowing you to transform that energy into progress. Hate also provides an unexpected form of feedback. While it is rarely constructive in its delivery, it can shed light on how others perceive you and highlight the areas where you are making the most impact. If people feel strongly enough to express hate, it often means that you are doing something significant or challenging the status quo in a meaningful way. This awareness helps you understand where your influence is strongest and which parts of your message or work are hitting the mark. In this way, hate can serve as an unintentional guide, directing you to double down on your strengths and refine your approach. Facing hate also builds your mental resilience, which in turn enhances your focus. When you endure negativity and refuse to let it break your stride, you develop a kind of mental toughness that keeps you steady in the face of adversity. You learn to work under pressure, to keep pushing forward, even when the environment around you is anything but supportive. This resilience becomes a crucial component of your ability to concentrate. No longer easily rattled or distracted, you remain laser-focused on your goals, knowing that external circumstances cannot dictate your inner resolve. The process of overcoming hate and channeling it into focused energy also reveals your true motivations. It forces you to ask yourself why you are doing what you're doing and whether it is worth the struggle. If you can still find a deep sense of purpose and fulfillment, despite the negativity, it means you are on the right path. This realization deepens your commitment and gives you the fortitude to persevere. Hate, in this sense, acts as a refining fire, burning away superficial desires and leaving only what is essential and deeply meaningful. Hate is an inevitable part of the journey for anyone who dares to live authentically or chase significant dreams. While it can be hurtful and demoralizing, it also serves as a powerful test of resilience. It is one thing to dream big or to talk about your values and goals, but it is an entirely different challenge to maintain your resolve when you are faced with negativity and opposition. Hate is the ultimate crucible, the trial by fire that reveals how deeply committed you are to your path. It tests your mental strength, emotional endurance, and the depth of your purpose. In the face of hate, resilience becomes more than a mere concept, it becomes a necessity. When someone targets you with harsh words, unfair criticisms, or spiteful actions, it can feel like a direct assault on your self-worth. But resilience is the armor that shields you from letting these attacks break your spirit. It is about standing firm in who you are and what you believe in, even when the world seems to be pushing against you. Each experience of hate becomes an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are unshakable, that you cannot be easily defeated by the opinions or actions of others. Resilience is not about being immune to pain or pretending that hate doesn't affect you. It is about feeling the hurt, processing the emotions, and still choosing to press forward. Hate tests your ability to keep going even when the easier choice would be to give up or conform to what others expect. It asks you to dig deep into your reserves of strength and to summon the willpower to stay true to your mission. This is where true growth occurs. As you face more challenges and learn to bounce back from them, your resilience becomes stronger, like a muscle that grows through repeated use. When you are hated for your successes or for being different, it can be tempting to question your worth or to wonder if you are on the right path. But resilience keeps you anchored. It reminds you that your value is not determined by external validation or the absence of criticism. Instead, it is rooted in your internal sense of purpose and self-belief. Every instance of hate tests this belief system, forcing you to decide whether you will let negativity define you or whether you will continue to define yourself on your own terms. It is a choice you make over and over again to stand tall and remain undeterred. Resilience also involves learning to be flexible in your approach while remaining firm in your mission. Hate may come at you in unexpected ways, from unexpected people, and at unexpected times. It may catch you off guard and force you to adapt. But resilience does not mean being rigid, it means being strong yet adaptable, like a tree that bends in the wind but does not break. You may have to change your strategies or find new ways to cope with the negativity, but the core of who you are and what you stand for remains unwavering. This adaptability ensures that you can weather any storm and emerge even stronger on the other side. Hate pushes you to recognize and confront your vulnerabilities. It shines a light on the areas where you might feel insecure or unsure of yourself. Yet it is through this discomfort that you develop true strength. Each time you face hate and choose not to let it defeat you, you reinforce your self-worth. You learn that you are more than the sum of others' opinions and that your dreams are worth the struggle. This understanding transforms the experience of hate into a profound lesson in resilience, a training ground where you build the fortitude to withstand future challenges. The ability to stay resilient in the face of hate also has a cumulative effect on your confidence. The more you overcome adversity, the more you trust in your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. Hate loses its power to shake you because you have a proven track record of bouncing back. This kind of resilience is magnetic. It draws others to you, people who are inspired by your strength and want to support you. It also acts as a deterrent to those who wish to bring you down, because they realize that you cannot be easily swayed or defeated. Additionally, resilience born from facing hate teaches you to be more empathetic and understanding. Experiencing negativity firsthand makes you more compassionate toward others who are also struggling. You become a beacon of strength and a source of encouragement for those who are dealing with similar challenges. Your ability to remain steadfast becomes a testament to the human spirit's capacity to endure and thrive despite adversity. The hate you face, instead of breaking you, becomes a force that shapes you into a more resilient, empathetic, and grounded individual. Hate also exposes the limits of your endurance, only to help you surpass them. You learn that resilience is not a finite resource, but something that grows the more you tap into it. The challenges that once seemed insurmountable begin to feel like stepping stones to greater achievements. Each test of hate reveals new depths of your strength and capacity for perseverance. It shows you that while hate may wound, it cannot keep you down unless you allow it to. Resilience transforms the experience of being hated into an opportunity for personal evolution, proving that you are capable of not just surviving adversity, but thriving because of it. In essence, the more hate you face, the more resilient you become. Each experience teaches you to rely on your inner strength, to trust your path, and to never waver in the face of adversity. It's a hard-earned quality, but one that becomes a defining part of who you are, making you unstoppable and unbreakable. Hate has an unexpected way of revealing who truly stands by your side and who is only around for the good times. When negativity surfaces, whether in the form of public criticism, social backlash, or private disdain, it serves as a powerful filter that separates genuine allies from mere acquaintances. The experience of facing hate can be incredibly isolating, but it also illuminates the loyalty and integrity of those who are willing to stand by you through thick and thin. It becomes a moment of truth, a time when the sincerity of your relationships is laid bare. In times of success, it's easy to be surrounded by people who are supportive and enthusiastic about your journey. When everything is going well, friends and acquaintances often want to be part of your story. However, when hate and negativity come into play, some of those individuals may suddenly vanish or distance themselves. This is because hate exposes the discomfort and fear that some people feel when they are associated with someone who is under fire. Those who lack genuine loyalty may be unwilling to share in your struggles, preferring to keep their reputations unblemished or their lives free from drama. This moment can be painful, but it is also enlightening, showing you who is there for you because they believe in you, and not just because it benefits them. True loyalty is demonstrated when someone is willing to defend you, even when doing so puts them at risk. These are the people who will speak up on your behalf, who will offer support when it seems like the world is turning against you, and who will not waver in their commitment to your friendship or your cause. Their loyalty is not conditional on your popularity, or the ease of supporting you rather. It is rooted in a deep respect for who you are and what you stand for. Hate acts as the crucible that tests these relationships, burning away superficial bonds and leaving behind connections that are built on trust and mutual understanding. When hate arises, those who are truly loyal will often surprise you with their unwavering support. These individuals are not easily swayed by popular opinion or the need to conform to societal pressures. Instead, they stand firm in their belief in you and the value of your work or mission. They see beyond the negativity and understand the core of who you are. This kind of loyalty is a rare and precious gift, one that becomes even more apparent and meaningful when you are going through challenging times. It teaches you the value of having a tight-knit circle of people who genuinely care for you. Facing hate also gives you the opportunity to appreciate these loyal individuals on a deeper level. When you see who is willing to stay by your side despite the backlash, or who continues to support you without hesitation, you gain a newfound respect and gratitude for those relationships. These are the people who don't require you to explain or defend yourself endlessly. They simply believe in you and are there to lift you up. Knowing who these individuals are provides a sense of security and strength, making it easier to weather the storm of hate and come out stronger on the other side. Interestingly, hate can also reveal the complex motivations of those who choose to leave or distance themselves from you. It's not always out of malice or a desire to see you fail sometimes. It stems from fear, insecurity, or their inability to handle conflict. In this way, hate becomes a lens through which you can better understand the people around you. It sheds light on who is capable of standing in solidarity with you, and who is more inclined to prioritize their comfort or public image over your well-being. This understanding is invaluable as it helps you make more informed decisions about where to invest your energy and trust in the future. Hate can also draw out unexpected allies, people who may have admired you quietly from a distance but are compelled to show their support when they see you facing adversity. These individuals recognize the unfairness or baseless nature of the hate and feel a moral obligation to stand with you. Their loyalty may not have been immediately apparent during the easier times, but hate brings it to the surface, showing you that support can come from unexpected places. This experience can be both humbling and heartwarming, reminding you that even in the darkest moments, there are people who are willing to fight for what is right and stand beside you. The revelation of who is truly loyal also extends to how people show up for you in private, not just in public. While some may feel compelled to make grand public gestures of support, others offer quiet but equally meaningful acts of loyalty. These can be in the form of a heartfelt conversation, a private message offering encouragement, or simply being there as a confidant when you need someone to talk to. Hate shows you that loyalty isn't always loud or visible sometimes. It's the quiet, unwavering presence of someone who believes in you that matters the most. Moreover, hate reveals the resilience of your true supporters. They may also face backlash or criticism for standing by you, but their commitment doesn't falter. This shared experience of facing adversity together can deepen your bond, creating a sense of solidarity that few other experiences can match. When people willingly share in your hardships, it speaks volumes about their character and the strength of your relationship. These connections become your support system, a source of strength and comfort that makes facing hate a little more bearable. Ultimately, hate serves as a catalyst for revealing the strength of your relationships. It strips away the superficial layers, allowing you to see who is genuinely invested in your well-being and who is not. While the experience of dealing with hate can be painful and exhausting, it also brings clarity to your life, helping you identify the people who are worth holding on to. The loyalty that withstands the test of hate is unbreakable, forged in the fire of adversity and strengthened by a shared commitment to standing firm against negativity. Hate has a way of pushing you inward, compelling you to examine the depths of your own self-worth. When confronted with negativity and disdain from the outside world, the instinctive reaction might be to question yourself, to wonder if the hateful words or actions directed toward you hold some grain of truth. But this experience, though challenging, becomes an essential opportunity to cultivate and master self-love. It teaches you the validation you seek cannot be rooted in others' opinions but must come from a place deep within you. Self-love is not just a surface-level concept, it's a fundamental, unwavering belief in your own worth, regardless of how the world perceives you. Hate forces you to grapple with this belief, and ultimately, to strengthen it. When people criticize or undermine you, you are presented with a choice to let their words define you or to stand firm in your self-acceptance. Mastering self-love means learning to affirm yourself in the face of external negativity. It's about choosing to love yourself fully, even when others do not, and realizing that your value isn't diminished by someone else's inability to see it. Hate also exposes any areas where your self-love may still be conditional or fragile. It highlights the insecurities and doubts that you might have been trying to ignore. This is not a pleasant process, but it is necessary for growth. Each hateful encounter serves as a mirror, reflecting back the parts of you that still crave external validation or struggle with self-acceptance. By acknowledging these areas, you have the chance to work on them, to build a stronger, more resilient foundation of self-love. You learn to affirm your worth from within, addressing your inner critic and replacing self-doubt with self-compassion. Moreover, mastering self-love means learning to establish boundaries that protect your well-being. Hate can be invasive, seeping into your thoughts and emotions if you allow it. Developing self-love teaches you to discern what feedback is constructive and what is simply destructive. You learn to guard your mind and heart against harmful negativity, to not internalize every opinion thrown your way. It's about understanding that not all criticism is valid, and it's perfectly acceptable and even necessary to distance yourself from toxic influences. Self-love gives you the courage to say, I do not deserve this treatment, and I will not let it define me. Another lesson that hate brings to the forefront is the importance of being your own greatest advocate. In a world where others may try to tear you down, self-love becomes your armor and your voice. It empowers you to speak up for yourself, to affirm your truth, even when others try to distort it. This kind of advocacy isn't about proving your worth to others, but about reinforcing it to yourself. It's about declaring that you are deserving of respect, kindness, and love, and believing this, even when the world seems to suggest otherwise. The journey to mastering self-love involves standing by yourself as fiercely as you would for someone you deeply care about. Hate also forces you to become more self-reliant when it comes to emotional nourishment. While it's natural to want support and understanding from those around you, self-love teaches you that your primary source of validation should come from within. You learn to fill your own cup, to nurture your soul with kindness and affirmation. This doesn't mean isolating yourself or rejecting genuine support, but rather recognizing that your self-worth is an inside job. Mastering self-love means learning to be your own source of strength, joy, and confidence, so that the presence or absence of external approval does not dictate your emotional state. Over time, facing hate and still choosing to practice self-love fosters an inner resilience that is unshakable. You realize that you are more than capable of withstanding negativity without losing sight of who you are. This process deepens your sense of self-awareness, helping you understand your own needs, values, and desires more clearly. The more you practice self-love, the more you become in tune with your authentic self. You become less swayed by external influences and more confident in your ability to navigate challenges with grace and self-assuredness. Hate also illuminates the importance of self-compassion. When you are under attack, it can be tempting to respond with harshness toward yourself, to think that maybe you should have done something differently or been someone else entirely to avoid criticism. But self-love teaches you to extend grace to yourself. It's about recognizing that you are human, that you are allowed to be imperfect, and that your worth is not contingent on meeting others' expectations. Mastering self-love means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a dear friend who is hurting. In this way, hate becomes a catalyst for personal empowerment. The more negativity you face, the more opportunities you have to affirm your self-worth. Each time you choose self-love over self-doubt, you strengthen your emotional resilience and deepen your sense of self. Hate might have the power to sting, but it does not have the power to define you unless you let it. Mastering self-love is about reclaiming your narrative, choosing to see your value as intrinsic and unchangeable. It's about building an inner sanctuary that no amount of hate can penetrate, a place where your self-worth remains whole, untarnished, and radiant. Hate, then, paradoxically becomes one of your greatest teachers in the art of self-love. It pushes you to confront your own fears and doubts, to cultivate inner strength and emotional independence. The journey is not easy, but it is transformative. It's about emerging stronger, more self-assured, and more in love with who you are. In learning to love yourself through the hate, you become the author of your own story, the guardian of your own heart, and the unwavering source of your own joy and peace. Hate is a powerful emotion, but it is fleeting. Its impact, though strong in the moment, dissipates over time, leaving behind little of lasting substance. What remains enduring, however, is your legacy, the mark you leave on the world, and the influence you have on the lives of others. When you focus on building something meaningful, something greater than yourself, the hate that may have once seemed overwhelming fades into insignificance. In the grand scheme of your life's work and the ripple effect you create, hate is merely a temporary distraction from the greater mission at hand. I think about the individuals throughout history who have faced intense scrutiny and even public hatred. Their ideas or actions may have provoked outrage or controversy, but over time the substance of their contributions overshadowed the noise of dissent. What endures is not the angry voices or the critics, but the change they brought into the world. The legacy they left has the power to inspire, transform, and shape future generations. When you're focused on creating a meaningful impact, the opinions of your detractors become irrelevant, overshadowed by the far more significant influence of your work. This perspective can be both empowering and freeing. Knowing that hate is temporary while your legacy can be lasting shifts your focus from trying to silence or please your critics to devoting your energy to the pursuits that truly matter. When hate comes your way, it's easy to feel a need to defend yourself or respond to every critic. However, understanding that your legacy will outlive any passing negativity helps you conserve your energy for more meaningful endeavors. You begin to realize that engaging with hate often only adds fuel to a fire that is already burning out. Instead, you can channel that energy into building, creating, and pursuing your vision. Your legacy isn't just defined by grand achievements or public recognition, It's also shaped by the small, everyday ways you impact those around you. The kindness you show, the wisdom you share, the compassion you extend these moments add up to create a life that is remembered not for the hate it encountered, but for the love and light it spread. When you prioritize living in alignment with your values and focusing on the positive influence you can have, the hate becomes background noise. It loses its power to derail you or make you doubt your worth. Hate fades because it's often based on temporary, surface-level judgments. People may hate you for what they don't understand or for projecting their insecurities onto you. But as time passes, new issues take the stage, and old controversies are forgotten. What remains is the deeper impact you made. Legacies are built on acts of courage, authenticity, and the pursuit of purpose. They endure because they are rooted in something real, something substantial. Unlike hate, which is reactive and fleeting, a legacy is proactive and rooted in intention. It grows and evolves, continuing to influence others even after you are no longer present. Even when hate feels overwhelming, it's worth remembering that the very people who harbor negative feelings toward you may one day come to understand or appreciate your contributions. History is full of figures who were initially despised or dismissed, only to be celebrated later for their groundbreaking work or enduring spirit. Time has a way of shifting perspectives, of putting things in context. What seemed outrageous or controversial in the moment often becomes a testament to someone's foresight and courage. The passage of time can transform a hated individual into a hero, as people gain the wisdom to recognize the value of what was once condemned. Moreover, focusing on your legacy gives you a sense of purpose and resilience that hate cannot take away. It becomes easier to withstand negativity when you are anchored in a mission that transcends your personal discomfort or fear. A legacy-oriented mindset reminds you that your journey is bigger than any one moment of hate, that you are working towards something that will endure far beyond the present challenges. This understanding helps you keep moving forward, even when it feels difficult. It grounds you in a sense of destiny, a realization that what you're building is worth the struggle and the occasional backlash. Hate may try to shake your confidence or make you question your path, but a focus on legacy restores that confidence.it reminds you that your purpose isn't about winning everyone's approval. It's about staying true to your vision. Hate seeks to diminish your impact, but when you are legacy-minded, you see hate for what it really is, a fleeting storm, incapable of washing away the solid foundation you've laid through years of dedication and hard work. This awareness allows you to move with grace, to stay steady in the face of adversity, and to continue building something that will matter long after the haters have moved on. When you invest in your legacy, you also inspire others. People who witness your dedication, your ability to persevere despite opposition, often find themselves moved to emulate your courage. Your legacy is not just about what you leave behind, but also about the inspiration you ignite in others to pursue their own dreams with conviction. Hate, on the other hand, rarely inspires or uplifts. It seeks to tear down, to destroy. But a legacy uplifts, connects, and creates a positive chain reaction that extends far beyond your own life. In the end, hate will fade as it always does. The noise will die down, and the people who once criticized or dismissed you will move on to something else. But what remains is your body of work, the lives you've touched, and the example you set. Your legacy becomes your shield and your motivation. It transcends the temporary sting of hate, evolving into something that can inspire and resonate with countless others. Hate has a shelf life, but the impact of a well-lived life and a meaningful legacy never truly disappears. It echoes, influencing others long after the hate has been forgotten. In the end, let them hate you. Let them misunderstand, criticize, and doubt you, for their negativity is but a fleeting storm in the greater journey of your life. Hate is a temporary shadow that cannot touch the lasting light of your purpose, your courage, and your legacy. When you stand strong, rooted in self-love and guided by your vision, you rise above the noise. You become unshakable, resilient, and focused with a fire that cannot be extinguished. Remember, their hate does not define you, it only reveals their own fears and uncertainties. But your legacy, that's what truly matters. It's the lasting impact, the testament of your strength, and the embodiment of all that you stood for. So keep going, keep believing, and let the haters watch as you thrive, leaving behind a legacy they can never erase. One powerful way to nurture joy is through gratitude. Gratitude shifts focus from what is lacking to what is present and abundant. By cultivating a habit of gratitude, individuals can begin to notice and appreciate the beauty in their lives, no matter how small. Gratitude can be practiced daily by writing down 3 things one is thankful for, or by taking a moment each day to reflect on positive experiences. This simple practice elevates mood and promotes a positive outlook, making it easier to find joy in everyday life. Gratitude also reinforces the idea that life has value, encouraging one to cherish each moment and experience it fully. Rediscovering purpose and joy may also involve creating new routines and habits that support well-being. Engaging in self-care, developing a spiritual practice, exercising, or spending time in nature can all foster a sense of connection and wholeness. These practices ground individuals in the present moment, helping them to feel centered and more connected to their purpose. By making self-care a priority, one reinforces the message that they are worthy of love and attention. This newfound commitment to well-being contributes to a deep sense of joy that flows from living authentically and taking care of oneself. As purpose and joy begin to take root, women often find that their relationships improve as well. When a woman is connected to her purpose, she brings a sense of vitality and positivity to her interactions. She no longer relies solely on others for validation or fulfillment, which allows her to form healthier, more balanced relationships. This inner transformation has a ripple effect, influencing others and inspiring them to pursue their own paths of purpose and joy. Rediscovering purpose and joy fosters a sense of connection with others, as individuals are drawn to those who radiate confidence, contentment, and passion. Rediscovering purpose and joy is a journey that celebrates life's inherent beauty and possibilities. It is a journey that requires courage, patience, and a willingness to explore uncharted territory. This path may not always be straightforward, but every step brings one closer to a life filled with meaning, self-respect, and fulfillment. By embracing purpose and seeking joy, women can rewrite their narratives, transforming stories of pain or rejection into powerful testimonies of resilience and self-discovery. In doing so, they reclaim their power, proving to themselves and others that they are deserving of a life that reflects their true essence and inner strength. In conclusion, the journey of the unloved woman is one that reflects profound resilience and the capacity for transformation. It encompasses the struggle with feelings of unworthiness, the deep-rooted fears of rejection, and the often challenging path to rediscovering one's self-worth. Yet, throughout this journey, there lies an incredible opportunity for healing and growth. Understanding the origins of these feelings enables us to break free from limiting beliefs, allowing us to reclaim our power and establish a strong sense of self. As we nurture our self-worth, we not only overcome the fear of rejection, but also open ourselves to the possibility of building healthy, loving relationships. These connections, rooted in authenticity and mutual respect, serve as a foundation for a more fulfilling life. The healing process through self-love and forgiveness acts as a catalyst, paving the way for rediscovering joy and purpose. By engaging with our passions, setting meaningful goals, and cultivating gratitude, we unlock the potential for a life rich in fulfillment and happiness. Ultimately, the journey does not end with healing. It flourishes into a beautiful tapestry of experiences that reflect our true selves. Each step taken towards self-discovery and joy not only impacts our lives, but also inspires those around us. As we embrace our narratives, transforming pain into strength, we become living testaments to the power of resilience, self-love, and the unwavering pursuit of joy.